It's time for story time with a special guest. We're going to talk about our first time. Roll the intro and let's bring on the guest. What's up, everyone? Chris the Dice Degen. Welcome to my storytime book, my storytime jungle. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today, we have a special guest. We have Ciro from Mid-Mo Yo. If you don't know Ciro, what is wrong with you? What are you doing? Down below, there's a link. Go click it. Over to this side, there will be a card. Go click it. Subscribe. Great content. Here's the deal. It's fantastic. All right, if you haven't seen it, go look at it. Craps questions always got me thinking. It's bad enough that I think about craps all day long anyway. Now I'm thinking about something else craps related. Go do it. Without further ado, Ciro, how are you this evening, my friend?
Fantastic, Chris. This is a pleasure being on the story time with you.
I appreciate you stopping by and joining, and I appreciate everybody who is stopping by. If you haven't already, click the like button, subscribe, tap the bell for notifications. Do that on this channel. Very easy. Just scroll down and do it. Then go over to Ciro's channel and do the exact same thing. All right? It's like deja vu, kind of like my last two story times, but clicking subscribe and like buttons. Do it. All right? So, you've seen my story times. All right? I want to have you guys on my story time. I want to have other people. I want to interact. So, today we have Ciro, who is going to tell us about a story. I haven't heard it yet. So, my reaction, it'll be live. Isn't that exciting? All right, Ciro, what is your funniest, your craziest, your most memorable casino story? Could be craps related, doesn't have to be. Any casino story you would like to share with your very favorite Degen?
Well, I thought about this when I knew I was coming on here, and I thought, you know, what haven't I talked about already in some of my videos or on some of the lives? And I thought about telling you the story of me playing craps at a casino for the very, very first time ever.
All right, I'm looking forward to this. I am looking forward to this because I haven't heard this story. Like I said, I think first times are always a good story, whether it be related or not. So I'm excited to hear about your first time. Set the scene for us. What happened?
All right, so it was actually a celebration that we were doing, and we actually had other people with my wife and I. So there was probably about 6 people, and my wife and I decided that we were going to stay the night at the casino, so that, you know, they had a pretty decent hotel. And since it was, you know, party-esque kind of an atmosphere, there was a lot of gambling going on and a lot of drinking going on. We were trying all kinds of things. Blackjack, you know, so some of the girls ended up going to some of the machines. Us guys, we were playing roulette. Roulette was actually one of the funniest ones, just because one of the guys was just losing his ass unbelievably. I mean, he was just murdering his bankroll, and we would just laugh every time. But I get to the craps table. Now, I was kind of walking off by myself at this point. I was kind of walking around the casino, and I get to the craps table. And, of course, I knew of craps. I've never really played it. Just like everybody else, I would think it's pretty intimidating when you look at a craps table for the first time, especially when there's a lot of people around and all kinds of chips and everything. So I just hung out. I literally, there was like maybe 3 open spots. So I just kind of hung out and I was watching. The dealer, this is one of the main reasons why I love tipping dealers. The one dealer, saw that I had been standing there for a while, and he goes, why don't you just walk up here and we'll kind of walk you through it. He goes, you don't have to put any money down. Just, there's nobody here. So, there was a few people, but there was enough space for me. So I stood up there, and he goes, what don't you know, is what he said. And I said, everything. He goes, this table, it was a $15 table. He goes, this is a $15 table. Of course, he's explaining how every bet has to be at least a denomination of $15. He goes, and he flat out tells me, he goes, don't even worry about those side bets over there. Those are, different bets. He goes, the only thing you want to worry about are these numbers right in front of you right here. And just from there, I was intrigued. I actually was already starting to pull out my wallet because I liked the guy. It felt like he was going to help me out, and I was going to learn for the first time. Now, here's the one thing. I didn't really recognize the difference, guys. Remember, this was my very, very first time playing craps. It was a crapless craps table. I didn't know any difference between the two. I didn't know a difference between craps or crapless craps, but it was a crapless craps table. Probably the number one reason why I am more of a light side player is because of this situation right there. I was it's almost like you learn something and it's really hard to relearn something.
Yep.
Same kind of situation. So I like the light side preferably, but over the years, obviously I've learned, but he was actually really cool. The nice thing is that when it was his turn to move and switch around, all the dealers there were fantastic. And I'm going to go ahead and give this casino a plug. It was the Ameristar. They have a crapless and a regular craps table too, but I happened to walk up to the crapless. Now, I put down, I think I'd only pulled out I think it was $150. And he actually even told me, he goes, you just want to bet minimum then. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. And he goes, why don't you just put a bet on the pass line? And I'm like, okay. And now here's the other thing. I started pulling my money out, was putting it out, and he goes, wait for the puck. So I was like, fantastic. I mean, it was really neat because this guy was very knowledgeable and very, very friendly, willing to help out, which was awesome. Put my money on the pass line. And, of course, this was when the puck was off. I put my money on the pass line. The guy rolls a 7. Boom. I win. First bet I put down on a craps table, I win. He goes, you can either stack it or you can take it. I said, well, hell, it's free money. I'll just stack it, right? So I put it on top. The other person rolls again. Yo, 11.
Mid-mo, yo.
And so I was like, this is awesome. So I ended up at this point now, I had just a little bit of a profit, obviously not much. But I picked it up and I kept my minimum bet down. I kept looking over at the prop bets. The guy, there was the same group of people. They kept circling around the table. The guy actually from a distance goes, don't even worry about those. From a distance, he tells me that. And I said, okay. And the one dealer that was in front of me, he goes, you don't have to bet $15 on those. You can bet, way less. So he goes, they pay a little bit more. And he's explaining it a little bit. And I got the nerve to go ahead and bet those because the person next to me ended up putting $1 on all the hard ways. And so I decided, you know what, me too. And I threw $4 out. I actually was almost placing them out there because I thought it was, and the guy's like, no, here, hand it to me. So I gave him the chips. He puts them down. And 2 rolls in, and the guy rolls a hard 8. And I ended up winning on that one too. I would have to say about 20, 30 minutes goes by, and I'm really starting to get the gist of things. I'm understanding why my bets are going away if something happens. I'm understanding why my bets are not going away, but I'm getting paid. I'm learning all the aspects for the very, very first time. And I ended up It ended up being really, really good that night. I ended up winning. I think it was like $500, guys. It was really cool. But the guy that was rolling, that I was just telling you, he was consistently a fantastic roller. Like every time the dice were in his hands, he was good. So I was really making all my money on him. Everybody else, including myself, no. I mean, it was like 0.7 out, or something stupid. But I ended up winning. My wife at this time was at it was 3-card poker table. She never played it, but fell in love with it. Now I got to tell you, remember, I was telling at the first part of the story, we were all having a little fun. We were all partying, right?
Understand.
My wife had a little bit too much wine and was at her table, and she didn't even realize the person next to her had to explain to her, "Honey, you just won $1,200."
Awesome.
It was like one of the big hands on a 3-card. I'm not really a 3-card poker player, but it was like one of the big hands. She had placed all of her chips on all of those circles, and she ended up winning the big one. She didn't even know it until they started handing her money. I happened to walk up after winning mine. She shows me. We were all excited. We were like, okay, this is perfect time to get up. Let's go, walk away, right? Walk away. So we walk away. We meet up with our friends. We're hanging out a little bit more. Everyone else leaves. We decide to go up to the room. An hour or so goes by. My wife falls asleep, and I said, casinos are open 24 hours.
That Degen's coming out.
So I took a walk back down there. It was a new crew of people, but luckily I didn't have to worry too much. They could tell that I knew a little bit, so they weren't so into helping me. They were still very nice, but the night was moving along, kind of a thing. So I get down there and I start doing the same thing. One of the main problems that I have to this day, and if somebody can tell me how to rectify this, please tell me. Whenever I have a place bet or even a pass line bet or a don't pass line bet, if I add odds to it, 70% of the time I lose. I lose my odds. And I don't know why. It's the way the dice roll. I get it. But if I don't play the odds, I usually end up doing better. Maybe it's the fact that I didn't put up as much money and it looks like it's better. I don't know. But my bankroll seems better when I'm not playing the odds. This in particular time, when I went down after my wife had fallen asleep, I had learned about the odds, and so I decided, hey, I'm going to try and make that money like my wife made at that table, I went through all of it, guys. The entire $500 or so that I won, I waxed it out. It was 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm literally walking back up to my room with my head hanging down low, walking to the elevator, going up to the room. Thank God my wife was still asleep.
I was just going to ask
so
that.
I didn't have to tell the story. But yeah, that was literally my very, very first time. Now, even though I won and then lost it all, I got bit by the bug. And I mean, I got bit hard. It was that moment that when I went home, I got on YouTube. I wasn't a YouTuber. I got on YouTube and I pulled up craps. And as we probably all know, the first thing that comes up is Color Up. Jeremy is the number one person that came up. So I started watching a lot of his videos. I actually, this was within a week's time, our friends were going to have a New Year's party. And we had discussed doing a Casino Royale because we all had went to the casino. We had a great time. So we were going to have a Casino Royale party at their house, which prompted me in making my table. When I made that table, I was not planning on becoming a YouTuber. I was just making this portable breakdown craps table so I could take it wherever I wanted to go. Um, I actually made a portable breakdown roulette wheel as well too. I still have that one because we were doing, Casino Royale. So we ended up doing the party. It was a huge success with the party. And shortly after the party, after watching so many of the videos, at this point, subbing to other people that were on the in the community, I decided, you know what? I don't know why, but let me just try and make one video. Let me just try it. Out of nowhere, I just decided I wanted to try it. My daughter was 3 at the time, and the only thing in my head was, when she's 10, 15 years old and YouTube is still going, her dad's going to be on YouTube. And so that was really cool to me. That was one of the main reasons why I actually wanted to do this. I could sit there and play on my practice table for hours without a camera, and I probably would do better because the camera's not pointing at me. But but I could easily do that and be completely satisfied because it's a lot of fun, even playing on the practice table. But it was really becoming part of the community. Once I started getting to know all of you guys, once I started to get to meet you guys, not in person, but like lives, like we're doing, and chit chatting, I immediately knew that I wanted to be part of this community, and it just started going from there. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It's actually kind of funny. I'm sitting here listening, and I don't know if I ever told about my first time playing at the casino with craps, but we might have been together on the same night because my night was almost exactly the same. Hilarious. But I'll save that for another time. But
Yeah, we got to hear that story. We got to hear that one.
do
That'll
I
be
go
for a
into
good
it
story
now?
time.
I don't know. No, I'll save that for another time.
Yeah, save it for one of your other story times.
Yeah, but yeah, no, that's awesome story. Love hearing good casino stories in general. Success stories obviously are great. I do have to say, not story related, but you and your daughter, like chef's kiss when you guys are together on camera. It's like pulling at every heartstring. I'm like sitting here. I'm like, what's going on here? Like, I hope one day when I have, well, I don't know if I'll have a little princess, but if I have a little princess, hopefully her and I have a dynamic like you and your daughter because it's truly incredible.
Thank you.
No
She's
problem.
she's literally the air that I breathe, and I don't make light of that. She is the air that I breathe. I mean, um, I had started my. I've been in the jewelry business for a long time. I'm third generation jeweler, and have moved from different states. I live in Missouri now. I've lived here for about 12 years. But when I started my jewelry store here, I named it Layla. This was literally 4 months before my daughter was even born
Oh wow!
because we already knew the name of my daughter.
Now I got
We had
goosebumps.
already.
It's supposed to be
So,
craps talk, man. Now I got goosebumps. Where's the tissue box? I need that next. I don't have a tissue box around me.
but yeah, so I named my jewelry store Layla's Fine Jewelry, and she wasn't even born yet. She's the air that I breathe. So it's awesome to hear you say that. She loves playing craps with me. I feel weird about even messing with the chips. So whenever she's on the table, I don't really mess with the chips because I don't want to bring in the gambling part of it. I just want her to
I
have
don't blame
fun.
you.
But she loves it. She's got her own set of dice. She throws them. She says 7 out. She loves it. She loves it that I love it. So I think that's why she loves it so much.
That's so awesome. I love to hear that. I really do. That's one of my favorite things with like the whole craps thing is like playing with my dad because I built the table during COVID in my basement and it was kind of for because he was just getting into craps like as COVID hit. So
Yeah.
built the table just so him and I could kind of like hang out more. Not that we don't hang out already, but just so we could like play some dice and work on our game a little bit, like while COVID was going on. I love the wholesome stories. I'm actually really glad that this story kind of took this turn, and now we're going to like wholesome family chat instead of just pure degeneracy. But
Well, we
I'm
were
here for it
there, and
all.
then we kind of cleaned it up a little bit.
Yeah, right. At first, you're starting to reference what is that? Leonard Skinner with the we were drinking some funny things, smoking some things. I'm sitting here now. I got that song stuck in my head. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. Uh, then obviously, family show. We bring it full circle.
Absolutely.
This was fantastic, Ciro. I really, really appreciate you coming on. Again, everybody, if you haven't already, again, you're probably nuts if you haven't, but if you haven't, Ciro's channel will be linked down below. Card was up before. I will put another one up that side. Still getting my left and my right confused. I'll put a card up to his channel. All right. Go check out his channel if you haven't already. Subscribe. Do all that good stuff. All right. Ciro's a good friend. Love chatting with him all the time. All right. So thank you, Ciro, for coming on. I really do appreciate it. And
Absolutely, Chris. Hey, I wanted to tell you, I don't know if anybody else knows, but I know this. Um, when you and I first met, when you first started, when I first got recognized by your channel, I ended up getting a hold of you on one of the comments, and we traded information. You, I could tell that you were really good at not only craps but at the computer stuff, and you were a big help with me because I was not and am not. And still, I think it was what about 3-4 weeks ago or something like that. You were helping me out with some technical stuff. So I really, really appreciate everything that you've done and everything that you've brought to the craps community, Chris. You are a gentleman and a scholar, my friend.
thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Always willing to help. You know where to find me. Very, very accessible usually. Unless girlfriend Degen's got me, then God knows what's going on. But anyway, I appreciate that. And again, thank you for coming on. Everybody, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have other people you want to have on, drop them in the comments. If you want to be on, shoot me an email. You guys know what my email is already. I will put it up on the screen. It's also down in the description. I can't make it too much easier. dicedegen@gmail.com. All right, we got to add that little tag in there. So if you want to be on, let me know. Ciro, if you want to be on again and tell me another story, I'm always here for it. All right.
We'll definitely do it again sometime.
Yes, sir. I appreciate everybody watching. Again, subscribe to both channels if you haven't already. Drop a like on the video. Let Ciro know you love this story. Let us know if you got goosebumps, because I know I did. All right, so let us know if you did. And just remember, guys, everyone has a little Degen in them. Until next time, peace.